What's happening everyone? My name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. Now a long time ago, maybe about 3 years ago I'm gonna say, I made a video for the original Engwe Engine Pro. So that was the first one, and that was actually the first e-bike video that I got to make on this channel. I will leave a link to that video in the video's description. Alright, so this is basically a dual suspension cargo e-bike that's also foldable. So it basically has it all. It gets small enough that you can actually store it somewhere. You get a front end, kind of like a middle rear suspension. You also get fat tires. So these are 20-inch wheels with 4-inch wide tires. You also get an adjustable in height handlebar. So this is basically the complete package if you want it all. We also have a very powerful motor that's powering the bike, and we also have a torque sensor. So if you want a bike that feels more like a regular bike when you're biking, well, this is the one to consider. The bike itself is not light. So this has a weight of about 31.6 kilos if I remember right. So definitely not the lightest bike out there. And the installation process out of the box takes a little while. You basically have to put the front wheel together, you have to put the front mudguard together, you have to put this rack together, that rear mudguard together, the handlebar here. So out of the box you do have to do quite a bit of an installation, so it's going to take you about an hour and a half to get this ready and on the road. Alright, so the battery pack on this bike is located right here inside the frame, so you cannot see it. That's a 16 amp hour battery pack, and according to the manufacturer you can get up to 116 kilometers on one charge. I guess that has a lot to do with the fact that the bike is equipped with a torque sensor, so it basically only gives you power when you need power. It doesn't constantly give you power, like a bike that has a speed sensor. The bike is also foldable, so it folds right here in the middle, and of course the handlebar also folds. So if you want to store the bike in a smaller space, you can definitely do that. With this bike you can even fit it in your car's trunk, depending what vehicle you have, of course. The pedals are also made out of metal and they also fold, so with that of course the bike becomes a bit smaller when you have it folded. And on the back here we have our rack. So the maximum weight that you can keep on this rack is 25 kilos according to what it says right there. And on the rear here we have our rear light as well, that also acts as a brake light. So whenever you pull on the brake levers, that will light up a bit more. And on the front here of course we have a light. The light is bright enough to be seen during the day, and of course bright enough at night so it can light the path ahead of you. With all that power, of course, you also need good brakes. So the bike is also equipped with hydraulic disc brakes. I'm very happy to say that the brakes don't actually make any noise when you're riding along. With a lot of these e-bikes that don't have hydraulic disc brakes, the brakes do make constant noise. Well, that's not the case. So this one, and of course, the braking power is also quite good. And the disc brakes are 160 millimeter disc brakes. Aside from having the 4-inch wide fat tires on the front and of course on the back, we do have a front suspension that has a couple of inches of travel. This definitely helps when you go over bumps. Then in the center here, or kind of in the back, let's say, we have a shock, so that also helps whenever you go over bumps, when you jump a curve or anything like that. And on top of that, we also have springs for the seat. The seat also has a lot of padding, so you will get a very comfortable ride no matter where you ride. So it doesn't matter if you're riding on a flat surface like here, or if you are riding on a bumpy road, you do get a very comfortable ride. On the back and of course on the front, we also get pretty big mud guards. The mud guards are made out of metal, but luckily they don't actually make any noise whenever you're riding, so I'm happy with that. I did try other bikes in the past that have metal mud guards and they do rattle a lot, but that's not the case with this bike here. Since we have an 8-gear Shimano shifting system, you can basically ride this bike just like a regular bike if you don't want to use the electric motor for it. But if you're using the electric motor, of course, it will make your riding experience much better. Not to mention that, as I said earlier, this bike is equipped with a torque sensor, so it will give you pretty much the same sensation that you get with a regular bike. So the harder you push on the pedal, the more power the bike will give you. So it feels kind of like a regular bike, but motorized. Going back to the handlebar, so not only the handlebar folds to make the bike smaller when you store it, but the handlebar also is adjustable in height. So you can get it this high if you want, so you can always customize your riding position. If you want to ride nice and straight like this, you can. If you want to hunch over a bit, you can as well. So the riding position is always customizable with this bike, and I absolutely love that about this bike, because you're always in the exact position that you want to be. And taking a quick look at the actual handlebar, the grips here don't seem to move at all. On the left hand side we have the accelerator. However, this is the EU version of this bike, so this is kind of not active at the moment. I believe you can unlock it, but personally I've left it as it was from the box. So it only accelerates to about 3-4 kilometers as it is from the box. So if I do this, so this is as fast as you can accelerate to this, unless you are outside of the EU, and then you can probably use it at its full potential. Here we also have the button, so you can basically change assistance levels. On the right hand side we have our shifter, and in the center we have the screen. The screen is fairly large. You can basically see how much battery you have, what assistance level you are in, your current speed, and so on. And the screen is fairly visible even on a sunny day like today. Alright, so let me quickly show you how easy it is riding this bike. So we have our power button right here. You hold this pressed for about 3 seconds or so, and then the screen comes on. Once the screen is on, you can adjust the assistance level from here. So for this test we'll do assistance level 3, and as I mentioned earlier, this bike is equipped with a torque sensor. So basically as soon as you start pedaling, the bike will start assisting you. So I'll show you how that works. So the more you push on the pedal, the more power the bike will give you. So you can hear the motor right away. So there is no delay whatsoever. As soon as you push on the pedal, the bike will start assisting you. We'll do a bit of a brake test. So right here. So if you want, you can definitely lock that rear wheel. And what I love about this is the instant power. As soon as you push on that pedal, you get power right away, which is definitely a nice thing, because the bikes that have speed sensors, you do have to pedal quite a bit before you actually get the power, but that's not the case with this one. And we'll do another brake test somewhere around here. So if you unlock that rear wheel, you definitely can. We'll turn around because it's uphill, and I'll show you how the bike does uphill. We'll go in assistance level 5 for that. So you basically pedal, and you can hear the motor assisting you. So you don't actually have to do any effort, put any effort into pedaling, and we are actually on quite a steep hill right here. So that easy riding this bike in pretty much any situation. So to quickly conclude this video, if you are looking for a folding cargo e-bike that has it all, that has a dual suspension, well, if we take into consideration the springs for the seat, a triple suspension, let's call it. If you want a bike that has a torque sensor, that you get a handlebar that's adjustable in height, and also a bike that becomes quite small whenever you have it folded, look no further, because the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 is the one to get. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this bike out. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.